All right, you guys, we're continuing with our spiritual practices, conversations, and today we're going to talk about yoga. So, I'm going to start from giving you my view on what that really is and what it does for you from a spiritual perspective. And then I want to break down two specific types of yoga nidra and kundalini yoga. So starting from yoga as a spiritual practice, it sounds like something so easy to understand what is yoga, but I feel like there is a lot of misconception, especially with the whole new age sort of a movement and shallow approach to spirituality. So I want us to start from understanding that when we talk about yoga as a spiritual practice, it's not about fitness. It's not about stretching. It's not about doing exercise. Yoga is one of the most powerful tools for your deep mind, spirit, body connection, to practice mindfulness, to really arrive in your body, right? We are a very unique blend. Every person is a very unique blend of a spirit and of your avatar, of your physical part of your body. So, yoga is a practice that helps you to really work into the synergy between the two, feel into your body, understand the mind as well. There's a powerful part of yoga that is about energy movement within your body and that synergy between your physical body and your energy body, right? It's designed, we're going to have different types of yoga and we'll address that in a moment, but it's serves for you to connect deeper and address how energy moves through your body as well, through your energy points in within your body, so through your chakra system. So to who that is actually useful and relevant, my belief is that anyone can benefit from yoga. It's a beautiful practice. Even if you believe that this is just fitness, you will still benefit from it, and you will still be able to connect your spirit and your mind deeper to your body. So it's a really beautiful practice. My personal belief is that it is not a must. I've started this series explaining to you guys that all of these practices are permission slips, some of them a little bit more, some of them a little bit less. Yoga is wonderful, yoga is great, it's a beautiful practice. I think that calling yourself someone who is spiritual, and whether you prefer different practices that give that similar result, so that mind body spirit connection, it's something that it would be great to give it a shot, to give it a try, to understand a little bit more about. However, again, my belief is that if you want to call yourself spiritual, and we agreed on this already, that spirituality is nothing but living in a state of spirit, understanding and allowing your spirit to hold the reins, releasing the ego, right? Constantly working on yourself and improving yourself as that blend of a spirit and ego, physical body. You can achieve that without yoga. It's not a must. Again, a new age belief that if you don't practice yoga, you're not truly spiritual. It's absolutely nonsense, my belief. So let's address, and a lot of the things that I want to cover will come through as I dive deeper into Kundalini yoga, but I want to start from yoga nidra because I feel it's a beautiful practice. Yoga nidra, it's a beautiful practice to really learn to arrive in your body, to connect to your body. It's a practice that helps you to release, to let go, to sort of a melt in a sense into your body, a release of anxiety, deep relaxation, obviously I don't want to sort of say so bluntly that it's the easiest one, but if you've never had any experience with yoga, yoga nidra is something that could introduce you to the idea of yoga. And it's also a beautiful way for that introduction, because it actually shows that the purpose of yoga is not the movement, right? But it's actually what happens in the process of that beautiful practice. So I encourage you to look into that. It's the one that you can also do in the comfort of your home. You can just search in Google or on YouTube. There's so many beautiful spiritual teachers who upload content to guide you through this process. So it's something that you can literally do today at your home with nothing. You don't need nothing, even a yoga mat, okay? So it's a beautiful practice that I myself use as well constantly, and I really, really love it, and I really recommend it. It's also introduces you a little bit into meditation, because it's the states that it helps you to achieve as well. But I want to spend a little bit more time talking about Kundalini yoga, because I feel there's a lot of misconception about that topic, and this is the most dangerous field for that misconception to exist. I've done some content specifically about Kundalini yoga. I believe I've done 2 or 3 raw sessions about Kundalini yoga. You can find them on my YouTube in Let's Ask Spirit playlist. This is my Rods sessions playlist. So to understand what Kundalini yoga is basically a type of yoga that focuses on working with your Kundalini energy. Okay, Kundalini energy is the life force energy that we all have, sort of a coiling around our the root chakra, we would say, right? So the bottom of our spine. Now, it's very important to understand, because this is where the misconception comes from. And I've also done a video, so I'm just going to bottom line this for you if this topic interests you. If you go to my YouTube, there's a spirituality and healing playlist, and there you will find an in-depth video about 2 types of awakening. Right? When we talk about spiritual awakening, there are 2 types of awakening. So again, to bottom line this for you, one type of awakening is an awakening that the ego doesn't choose, the body doesn't choose. It is something that happens as a part of your destiny, that milestone that no matter what you're going to choose for yourself, it will happen. And there's a small fraction of people who experience that awakening, and it's literally, I always describe it, you know, you go about your day and boom, it hits you. It's a trigger moment in your life. Obviously it's a little bit deeper than that, but it's a trigger moment in your life that is planned by your soul to happen in your life, because your soul knows that we're ready. In that next incarnation, we're ready. And in that moment, the serpent, the Kundalini energy represented by that serpent, sort of opens its eyes. It opens its eyes. It awakens. And through the process that will initiate of healing and working with that energy, the energy literally goes through all your chakra points, opening you as a channel, okay, to the universe. So those are people who end up being spiritual teachers, channels, mediums, shamans, right? Really walking through the veil of 2 worlds, of 2 realms on a daily basis, right? We talk about, seeing things, hearing things, perceiving things that are not approachable, available for most people. Okay, so that's that one type of awakening, and it's important to understand, and I've explained this in this video, it's something that you cannot force. no matter what you do, no matter what spiritual practices you do on a daily basis, you cannot force this awakening. It's part of your destiny, because again, it turns you into it will turn you into a spiritual teacher, spiritualist, living a life of service, right? Those usually for most will be one of the final lifetimes on earth, if not final one. Now, the second type of awakening is awakening that most people experiences, and it's happening to so many people these days, which is beautiful and amazing. It's the awakening that starts from a level of the mind, right? It's that moment that it will also happen through a trigger moment, milder or more intense trigger, that makes you start to realize and understand there is more into this life. There's more. There's another realm, the realm that we cannot perceive with this physical body, the realm that we cannot tangibly describe for as long as we are in this physical body. And from there you start to explore and you walk the path of spirituality, and through a variety of spiritual practices you embark on a journey of self-discovery that also opens your body. This is why we're talking about all these spiritual practices. It opens your body to activate certain gifts that we all humans carry within: empathy, intuition, activation of your clairs, so clairaudience, clairvoyance. We all have the capacity to activate that within ourselves. And you can do that through the journey of that awakening, right? And when we talk about that type of awakening, so the one that happens to most people that say that I'm spiritual and I'm awakening, the serpent, it's a complex thing for me to sort of explain to you guys. You have that life force energy, you have that Kundalini energy. It influences your entire body, it moves through your entire body. But the serpent remains dormant to a state, right? Because you cannot force this, just as I explained to you guys. You cannot force true Kundalini awakening, full Kundalini awakening that awakens you, like I said, as a channel, fully connected to the oneness with the universe, right? You cannot force that, but you can work with this energy, right? You can. It may be your preparation lifetime or lifetimes that will one day lead you to a point where your soul will be ready to go through that full awakening. But it's something that we cannot push, we cannot force if it's not on your timeline, if it's not destined for you. And it's absolutely okay, right? It's absolutely okay. All is good. You cannot force this. And this is why I wanted to sort of take that step back and explain this to you guys, because I've seen so many, I call them charlatans, people online and in this world who claim that they can awaken your Kundalini energy. You cannot. No sorcerer, no shaman, no ascended master has the power to touch you and awaken your Kundalini energy. It is a destined moment, divinely orchestrated. It happens exactly when it needs to happen if it's on your timeline. Now, what they can do, if they're really good spiritual teachers whose life's mission is linked to working with Kundalini energy, they can help you work with this energy. They can help you. Once the eyes are open, they can help you work with it. And if you fall into that second category, so the Kundalini is not really awakened, it's still the fact that it's there, the fact that a serpent, it's coiling around your spine there, it still emits energy. It still is that point of origin for the flow of the energy within your body. So someone who is a Kundalini teacher, Kundalini yoga teacher, can help you to work with that energy, to understand that energy, to work with the energy points within your body. So the reason I am explaining this to you guys is because Kundalini yoga is a beautiful practice. It's a practice that, again, helps you to understand your energy body, connect your physical body to your energy body. It can remove some energy blockages from your body, some trapped energy that may be due to trauma. Or simple energy blockages trapped in your body, right? So it's a beautiful practice, amazing spiritual practice. However, my belief and my recommendation is that Kundalini yoga is not for someone who's like literally walking on a street and sees a poster. Oh, Kundalini yoga, it sounds interesting. Let's do this. This is a more of an advanced practice. I would not recommend someone who just is on the first years of their spiritual journey to work with Kundalini yoga, especially in a sense of a sort of a group and community classes, right? So if you went through your awakening and you the true Kundalini awakening, you can work with a perhaps a shaman that specializes in Kundalini energy to help you tame that energy. But when we talk about, again, Kundalini yoga specifically, I say, in my belief and my recommendation to you, this is a practice for those who are a little bit more advanced on this journey. Because if you don't have understanding of self in your little finger, if you don't fully understand and embody everything that relates when we talk about energy body, chakras, energy points, you don't have a full understanding. What does it mean? What type of energy flows through every chakra, how they interconnect, how to work with these energies, also through shadow work as well. I would not recommend for you to start from Kundalini yoga. If you are already advanced, this is a beautiful practice, amazing practice, and I would highly recommend embarking on that journey. And the final thing that I want to mention to you, specifically for Kundalini yoga, but this is an advice that will sort of stand through all my spiritual practices. Kundalini yoga is something that you will need a spiritual teacher to introduce you to it, right? So whether you choose a individual class or a group class or an online class, you have to find yourself a teacher. So my advice to you, and it's something that, in my opinion, goes to the whole category of yoga. I've noticed that some people who think that yoga is fitness, is stretching, is right. There are some yoga teachers, they really aren't spiritual teachers. They aren't spiritual people. They aren't people who went through that spiritual awakening and self-discovery journey and shadow work journey themselves. They just, I've seen sometimes cases where someone works at the gym as a fitness trainer and then does this yoga training as an extra thing, right? Again, yoga is not fitness, is not to move your body and to stretch your body. It's not the point. So I would not recommend you, whatever type of yoga you want to do, to go to a teacher who is not really a spiritual teacher, right? So be careful. There's going to be two types of sort of things you need to watch out for. One being what I just said, so people who don't understand that this is not fitness and they just simply run a practice as if it was a body stretching, right? A Pilates, okay? And second type of warning is a new age sort of a BS kind of a thing, right? So lots of sage, lots of yoga pants and linen clothes, but then not a real raw actual work that was done by that spiritual teacher. So make sure it's an actual spiritual teacher. It's someone who understands spirituality, who is in touch with their spirit, who understand what yoga really is. And if you ask me how to know this, I always say to you guys, listen to your intuition. But this is why I often explain to you why us spiritual teachers, we have our platforms, we have our social media, so you can get to know us. So you can actually go to this person social media or website and see if they just treat it as a sort of a body movement, or they understand that this is a spiritual practice, and a beautiful spiritual practice that can be very beneficial for someone who is on that journey of self-discovery and reconnection of body, mind, and spirit. And now specifically talking about Kundalini yoga, my recommendation to you, again, this is my belief. A good Kundalini yoga teacher, practitioner, is someone that understands what I just told you, that Kundalini energy, the serpent energy within us, within all of us, cannot be forced to be awakened. And that there are two types of awakening that we work with. And a good Kundalini yoga teacher, my opinion, would ask you where you are on your journey to really understand. Do you know what Kundalini yoga is? Do you understand the expectations? Do you understand the implications? Do you understand it's something a little bit more advanced, right? And my final note is that it's something that I will as well tell you about any spiritual teacher. My belief is that true spiritual teacher understands that being a spiritual teacher is a mission, right? And with that mission, what comes with that mission is that for a specific area, in a specific chapter of someone's life, we become that teacher. We become that master. We hold space for that person to allow them to walk this journey of self-discovery. So in my opinion, you cannot call yourself a good spiritual teacher if you are available only during a class and then I don't care. My personal belief. So if you start to work with Kundalini yoga, let's say you have that once a week class. If you feel in a specific way after a specific class, make sure you work with a spiritual teacher who understands and who will be there for you. So either they'll have a platform or community, or before and after every class there will be a place for a Q&A, for a conversation. If you don't feel too well, you can reach out to them, because it's not just, like I told you guys, it's not just Pilates. It's not just something that you go and you do some exercise, and right? It's something that connects you deeper to your spirits, to the essence of life, to your life force energy. Things may start to sort of move around your body. So if you don't have that teacher that is available for you, for questions, for holding that space for you, for explaining this process to you, right? In my opinion, it's not a good spiritual teacher. And you guys know, if you work with me, you know that's my belief. If you are a regular, you come to me on sessions, whether that's every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks, you know that I'm available to you in between. What kind of a spiritual teacher would I be if I wouldn't? The spiritual teacher, the job of a master is to hold space for you as long as you're a student, up to a point you become a master. And on that journey, if something happens to you, in the sense of you going through an ascension, you're experiencing something in your body, you're going through some sort of a process of change and transformation, your spiritual teacher should be available for consultation, for conversation, right? And obviously we're all entitled to have our boundaries and our rules and regulations, rules of engagement, and it's normal. It's not like we're slaves to anyone and available around the clock. But my personal belief, it's being someone's spiritual teacher and a healer is a very deep relationship, is a very sacred relationship that should always be honored. And unfortunately, in my experience, sadly, not many spiritual teachers and healers fully understand that. So if you really, in a very intentional and mindful way, choose your spiritual practices that you want to start practicing, and maybe one day becoming, a teacher and a master yourself for some of these, make sure that you choose that person that will hold space for you, that will encourage you, that will help you open, that will help you. Again, healers, we don't magically heal you. We set the space. We hold space for you. We set the frequency. We show you through our own frequency so you can adjust yours, right? Until you're ready to become your own inner guru, to become your own master. So for certain practices, especially Kundalini yoga, it's going to be very important who you choose for your spiritual teacher. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to let me know, and I will see you in the next episode.